Rahubot Collective, welcome in to a message. As I was sitting here, kind of just doing stuff, someone's ancestors came in really heavily, and they're wanting you to trust the process. And oddly enough, as I'm saying that, there's like this big emotional release, like this, like it's the fact that after I was like, while I was saying that, it felt like tear duct, like they started to loosen up a little bit, right? There's something that you are getting a second chance at. There's something that's going to be more like beneficial for you, but it's this trying period that you're in. I'm hearing 1 to 2 weeks. It's to mold you into a more solid formed self. A lot of times you think that you need to be um, liquid all the time, but you need to have some form of solidity. What's encasing that liquid is what you're looking at. That's the mold that you're building. And this mold that you've had, it's not that it's bad or broken. It has a few cracks in it, though, that need repaired. It's not shaped the best way. Like it can stand up on its own, but sometimes if you don't put it at the right place, at the right angle, it's going to tip over. That's how I'm kind of seeing this cup. And they're not putting you they're not allowing you to feel what you're feeling so intensely to hurt you. This is to break a past mold. It's like there's a layer from like an old version of this mold that needs to be broken off, and it might have to do with humility, with admitting that you can't, or getting extra help, you know, knowing that there are people around you who are like you, going through the same things as you. And right now their ancestors, whoever this is for, like they need you to know that you're going to be fine. You're just you became so dependent on a past way of being whenever this cycle would appear. And it's about this intervention. And it was on your behalf because you wanted to move past a certain cycle. You wanted to heal past a certain boundary that you had. And in order for that to happen, you had to make it through this pressure. And I'm getting like heavy heart right now, heavy throat chakra. This has a lot to do with allowing others to love you in the sense of taking care of your needs, letting go of this masculine form that you've been in where you have to do it by yourself and it's this way and that way, and really allowing yourself to soften up and not be so scared of the external, not be so focused on everything bad. I'm just hearing counter winds as well. And I didn't even notice it, but on the bottom of the deck, we do have the Wheel of Fortune sitting straight up. And below that is Judgment reverse. So this does say a lot about you not listening to your higher self, about you being on top of the wheel. It's about this cycle that you really do want to end. There's a version of you that's ready to be birthed and put out for the world to see. And it's time for you to truly be that. And in order to be that version of you, there's this holding on that needs to be released. There's something that you're holding on so tightly to that no longer needs to be held on to. There's this version of you that is still struggling with the rational minded part of you. You're not able to break it apart. You're not able to not necessarily break the rational side apart, but you're unable to show the rational side of yourself the other side. You're so busy looking at the things that's going wrong that you're not even rationalizing or breaking down the things that are going good. All the signs that you're receiving, all the messages that you're receiving, all these things that you're receiving that are helping you out and giving you good, you're seeing them, and it's like you're breaking them down only in your head, and you're needing to take it a step further and actually look up these things. Like again, going to like an angel number site and looking that up, or looking up what certain animals, certain colors mean spiritually, and then identifying that with yourself and breaking it down that way. There's this internalization period and phase that you're almost stuck in because you're not able to truly see what's being shown to you outside of it. It's like you're stuck in this mind, you're stuck in this rational way of being of, well, if all these things are saying that they're going to happen for me and this doesn't happen, I don't know what's going to come through. Some of you might be mistaking abundance as just for money, or manifestations as just being in for money, whenever it could be something more grand than money. The mercy of another person, you know, the glorification of being able to rise up from these places of humiliation, being able to show your true character to people, and I'll have them have the benefit for you, the benefit of truth, because they see who you are and see what you're doing. All these things, it's like you're needing to take that into more consideration. Again, count your wins. You spent so long counting your losses in these past cycles that you haven't really talked about any sort of win. You haven't talked about the peace of mind that you receive now and again. You don't talk about the feelings of wholeness and gratitude, the fact that you get the tingles in your body and your body lights up and the divine enters you and gives you these revelations. It's like you're needing to not just thank them and just leave it at that. You're needing to really actualize and internalize it and be like, you know what, let me break this down. I received this sign whenever I was in a lot of panic, and it helped me soothe down. Even though that soothing went away after a while due to my focus and where it was after that point, it still was there to calm me down, and it put me at a solid state of mind for the time being that I needed to do something in, right? Because you're being pushed, you're being molded, you're being grafted into a new version of yourself that needs this last push. And they know that you're tired. I'm looking like really intently at the occult deck. I don't know why, but you're really exhausted. There's been a lot of urgency. I'm looking at the red on there. That's why it was the urgency. You've just been, I need to do this, I need to do that, this needs to come in now, that needs to come in now. You might be, you know, sleeping, and you know, you might be sleeping well, but you wake up a lot at night, or you might not be sleeping well at all. It's all these things, and they're trying to show you that even though you're tired, this last fight, this last major push is really what's going to show you who you are and who you need to be, and show you the reward that you've been wanting, because it's there. It hasn't left. No one's took it. It's not going anywhere. It's for you. It No one else can be you. Period. Dot dot. Like, if anyone wants to try and act like you, they can, but they're gonna be like, they're just gonna be them acting like you. They don't know who you are. They don't know who you are internally, externally. It doesn't matter how many readings you get on someone. They'll never know who you truly are at the end of the day. Silence for confirmation. There's something that's genuinely meant for you that you're about to like walk into and receive, but it needs this final push, this final trust, this final knowing in self, where you're really gonna take yourself to the next level. And even split, you need to really come back to yourself. I thought that was the Six of Swords for a second, but it's the Six of Cups. But there's this coming back together that you're needing to do with yourself, and it's about getting that ration. I mean, here it is again with the Two of Cups. It's really just telling you this rational minded self, this masculine twin inside of you, needs to see what Jill is preparing. You know, the pressure's on. The pressure's been on for a lot of people, maybe for a while, but it's there to show you who you are. You're strong. You don't give up easily. You're not a quitter. It's the fact that things around you aren't moving the way that you're wanting them to. Maybe you need to switch up what you're doing or how you're saying things. It's all these individual things, and the reason why they're individual things and not collective things is because, again, you've been rationalizing these things. You've been saying, well, if this isn't working, then I need to do this. If that's not working, you're not seeing where both like coexist. So really, really, really take time for that. Really give grace, give thanks to all that has worked today. Definitely today is a good day of forgiveness. Give yourself that pat on the back that you've been needing. Give yourself that knowing that this project is going to work, and give yourself the benefit to work on the things that you desire to work on, and not the things that feel so like dooming, I guess, for lack of better words. Again, Knight of Wands, this is you moving. This is that fire energy again, Sagittarius. And it's this final push. It's literally the final stage that you're in of this molding, of this cultivating of who you're supposed to be, which is why it's so difficult. But you're able to do it. You're on the horse, the divine's with you. You have the wand in your hand. All you have to do is trust where that horse is guiding you, trust where that extra power is coming from. That pressure doesn't have to be stress. You're defining it as stress. That pressure could literally be the energy that you need to exert to move forward. That pressure could be an excitement that you just are discerning as stress due to your surroundings, you know? Read what the energy actually is. A lot of times your rational self, your rational mind will come in and, oh, you're actually feeling this way when you're not, or that's the supply that you're getting when it's not. You need to understand when what's coming in and when and how. Again, Four of Swords, it's not a time for rest, is what it is though. What it is a time for action. And you're needing to move forward, not with this rational self holding you back, but with this rational self showing you what you need to do and how you can do it. There's this like you have the plan, but this rational part of you that keeps breaking things apart, keeps only looking at the downside of things, and you're needing to move forward from that. It has a lot to do with love. You're afraid of letting someone down, whenever really you're afraid of letting yourself down because you've already felt like you've let yourself down. And the fact that you already feel like you've let yourself down, you have to externalize it on someone else. This is that balance that you're needing to see, getting back in tune with balance, getting in tune with what you truly want. I don't know why, but I haven't seen this movie in forever, but Rocky Pictures Horror Show popped up in my mind. It's like you're going through, and in specific, what popped up in my mind is how everyone, like, whenever people watch it, they enjoy watching it over and over again because there's details they missed. It's like you've been going through this same dilemma, this same issue, and every time you're noticing these small cracks, like that could be, this is something that I keep doing that I need to stop saying is okay and stop making excuses for. And this is too, and that is too, and I need to like strengthen up over here, and I need to strengthen up over that. It's like that's what's going on, is you're being sent forward and being pushed through so many different loops within the same ride. And it's to show you different parts of like what you're needing to work on. It's getting you to be sovereign. So don't get distracted. Don't fall for the distractions. Don't let your rational mind say, oh, you're too tired for this, or you can't do this, or XYZ. Really focus on what you're doing, what your goal is. Connect to the why. And I feel like you've been holding on to that why, but it's like you get the signs. You always get signs. The divine's always trying to talk to you. You're always getting the shivers, the goosebumps, or whatever. You're always getting the angel numbers, the signs, the notifications, the synchronizations. You're getting everything, but it's this part of you that just keeps denying it. And you don't need to deny something anymore. It's not even the fact that you're wanting to deny it. You keep falling for the trick. You keep falling for the switch and bait, where everything seems like it's going to work, and then you decide to put effort into the physical, and when that one physical effort doesn't work, your whole plan falls, your whole other reality falls, and the divine's trying to show you like that's not what we're trying to do. You got 7 of cups almost. Like, it's how it feels, is you fell for a a downfall that wasn't supposed to be a downfall. You took an extra path that you shouldn't have took, which put more pressure on you. Again, this is what you need to do though. Take that leap. Take that credibility. Take that authentic. Oh my god, I can't speak. Take that step. Be authentic. Be sure you can move. And again, with the dog being there, the dog's barking. Like, look where you're going. You're about to fall off the cliff. That's your rational mind. That's the masculine in you who's barking at you, saying you're about to fall off that cliff. Who's going to catch you? I don't see anyone to catch you. What are you doing? Right? But it doesn't see mother. It doesn't see the divine. It doesn't see the hand that's there to protect you. And you don't see it either. You might know about it. You might feel comforted by it for like a few hours or a few minutes. But what you're not getting and what you're not seeing and what you're not being and what you're not embodying is the fact that this safety net has always been there. And again, this could really just be a passing that's already happened that you're just scared of having happen again. Because last time it happened, it didn't work. But last time it happened, there was a part of you that took it greatly for granted. And you learned that lesson to not take it for granted anymore. You learned that lesson that this is not the way to handle it. This is not the way to go about it. Let me go about it a different way. This pressure of working on so many things, this pressure of trying to solidify what you're wanting has shaped you into a new being, a new individual, and it's showing you that you're ready for this opportunity. You're ready for this grace to come upon you. Confirmation with that notification. Feel like you're ready for it, but you're almost afraid of it because of what happened last time. And that's that rational mind itself who's always focused on breaking things down. And this reminds me of that time, and it's going to line up with that, and it doesn't. It's not going to. It's going to be different as long as you make the different choices, right? Pay attention to what you're spending, where you're spending, and how you're spending. Again, look at the abundance around you. Look at what's already happened for you. Look at what's led you up to the point that you're at now. And with this snail on the card, things are going to be a little slow. Things might have slowed down, which is what caused this fear. Things might have, I'm sure, I'm looking for my chapstick, but I can't find it, so who cares? Anyway, you look at what's like happened to bring you here. And the only reason why things are going so slow is because you're focusing on the snail and not on the bird on the card. The bird's on the hand and the snail's by the foot. It's like you're not seeing what's happening here. You're receiving these messages, but you're seeing how slow they're coming in. You're needing to allow the divine to nurture your thoughts. Allow mother to nurture your thoughts. Allow you yourself to know, I'm doing all I can. I'm on the path that is right for me. But anyway, no, not but. I'm on the right path that's for me. And there is a force. There is a force that is helping me. There is a force that is driving me. There is a force that is pushing me towards my highest and greatest being that I am completely unaware of at this point in time. And I need to trust in it because it sees things that I can't. It moves things I can't. It does things I can't. And but that's why you're being stuck as well. That's why you can't move forward, because that actualization of this higher state of mind, this higher being, this higher energy that is around you and within you is doing things constantly. And it's this lack of control. So work with controlling the self. And we have yellow and blue, which is very interesting. So this could definitely be like a solar plexus and throat and all the clouds. It could also be the crown chakra, the mind as well. It's like trusting your gut with a clear mind Don't be so hasty to move quickly. Allow yourself this breathing room. You've been asking for a rest, you've been asking for a break, and you received it not in the way that you were expecting, which then not ruined things, but caused you to manipulate the situation and to not benefit the best of you. It allowed yourself to be disconnected from what you're wanting, from who you truly are. So at this time, really be aware of that. Really be aware of that, because you're not trapped. You're not lost. You're not, you shouldn't be in fear, but there is danger afoot, but you know how to move around that danger. There is a voice inside of you. There is a voice that you hear, that you receive, that you have been receiving, that you wish to receive more of as well. That's been trying to tell you and show you, hey, do this. Don't worry about that. You've done that. If it works, it works. It's cool. You focused on one of the 7 of Cup options, right? That's fine. That's okay. But don't let that worry you. What you need to do is move forward with what you have, with what you can. And that's what they're trying to show you right now with all this movement that's happening, with all this chaos that's going on around you. The unknown is there to show you what you do know so you can work with what you know and not be lost or be swayed away in a different direction. This is a big move though, and you know it is. This is something that you just desire. It's like you want something more. It's not even that you want it or need it, you're desiring it. It's part of you. It's part of what you came here to do, is to be a bigger part of it. And you're just waiting. You've been in this waiting energy, and now it's time to move. It's time to pay attention to how you are going to move forward, how you are going to take this leap. What's happening again? What's the cycle that you're in? Write these things down out so you can see them fully, and write the desired outcome of it, and then allow yourself to ponder on that. Give your rational mind a job. Tell it to break down the process to get you to the right place at the right time, rather than focusing on all the other things that could happen. So give it a thing to focus on, and it will do its job very well, just as well as it can bring you all that fear, doubt, and trouble. It can bring you all that those blessings, the fortune, and the abundance just as easy. But it's this misuse of it, because you're not working with it. It's untrained. It's untrained dog. It's going around biting people and doing shit it doesn't need to be doing, right? This is that illusion. That's that dream. You might not be getting the messages from your dreams. There's some form of dream message you may be getting. Maybe having dreams about family members, and you haven't been interpreting them or getting a real deep meaning. These dreams of the family members, what I'm getting is showing you a new sense of family. You may be having dreams of forgiving family members or forgiving past people, and that's not you forgiving them internally. That's showing you that this forgiveness is being bestowed onto you. There is something where you keep forgiving other people but not forgiving yourself. So in order for you to forgive yourself, the divine is showing you people who forgive you, who are doing what you do for others, so that you can now do to yourself, right? Again, this has to do a lot with comfort, home, stability, your safety, your security. You know where you're at. You know you're in a safe space, but it's this looking back so much that's causing this delusion. This isn't the truth. You're not reading the stars correctly. You're not feeling like your season is here when it is here. It is your season. And especially if you're a cardinal sign, you've been feeling this a lot, I'm getting as well, especially with my coming out. But if you're a cardinal sign, you've really been feeling this. And if you aren't like a sun, moon, or a rising cardinal, look at your chart and see where your cardinal's at, because this is what's springing in the action. This is what's changing. The curse over that placement, and the cardinal for fire, for all the sign, all the elements, fire, water, air, and earth, all of them. Look at those. That's what's changing for you. That's what's becoming more solidified. That's what was cursed and now it's being broke. That's why everything feels so tough and strenuous, because it's like, you want this curse to break, you have to be the one to break it. Our fingers are going to snap and allow things to happen, but you have to go through them. And that's this tower, that's that warning. This is the main issue. This is what you're fighting, is breaking this final bit of the curse that has been placed over you by the star sign. The curse is just a lesson that you need to learn, because you can reverse the curse and make it a fortune. And this is what people have played on. That you might have been feeling people have been playing tricks with you. They've been playing unconsciously on that part, because you've been internalizing it and seeing, oh, they're only doing this because I'm a nice person. And maybe you have like a cardinal sign within like the fifth house or one of the relationships houses, and they've been doing that, or house related to love or commitments or relationships, things of that nature, right? It's like they've been playing on that house to get you to be more solidified, or however it is for you. Just look at that and really dissect yourself so that you can see what is moving away from you. Sit still, know that you are God. Sit still, meditate, be in silence, take time for silence. You don't even have to turn your lights off. You just look up at the ceiling if you want. You look outside if you want. You know what I mean? Just allow yourself to break out of this mold. There's not a need to be dual. There's not a need to be in a duel. All right. There's not a need to be so split apart. You need to be combined. You are a twin individual, and you are co-parenting both of them. You are checking over both of them. You are making sure that both of them can interact with each other. And you have to understand that the issue on one half is also the issue of you. So if you're not getting any messages from the divine, it's not because your heart space is broken. It's because you are refusing to listen to the divine. So those teachings, those messages aren't coming through. If you're so focused on the external reality and causing all this fear, then you're at a war with yourself, with your rational self, by trying to not, by putting too much focus into the physical, feeling it that way. Again, check your nose, check your south node. Check your south node so you can figure out how to exit this storm. The storm's right here, but figure out how to exit the storm so you can figure out what needs to be broken off of you. This could even just be past cycles of you saying lies to yourself, or you still externalizing things instead of digging into who you are, because it is your issue. It is a you thing, because you are part of it. If it wasn't a you thing, you wouldn't be involved. It wouldn't have you in it. This goes for every situation. It cannot be affecting you in any way, shape, or form unless it is you in any way, shape, or form. Any attention given to it makes it a you problem, makes it your fault, because you are the one funding how you're going to respond in that sense. And it's not that hard to understand, but people are so used to externalizing things that they don't get that. They don't receive it that way. They wish to scapegoat still, whenever in reality they're scapegoating themselves. They're throwing themselves under the bus by saying it's everyone else's fault, not mine. You can't be a hypocrite when that happens. You can't allow everyone else not to do that, but then you to do it. That's a hypocrite. That's going against your own laws. So then you're scapegoating yourself by throwing yourself under the bus by saying, I don't want to take accountability for me. Everyone else has to, because you feel like you've taken enough accountability, which is a lie, because you haven't taken accountability for the lack of accountability that you've taken in totality. Not just for recent events, but in totality. The lack of accountability for being aware, the lack of accountability for hearing the divine 24/7, which is what you desire to do and live by, but you have to take up for that accountability that there's sometimes you just don't. And that's on you. It's not because the divine's not talking to you. It's not because someone's blocking it. It's because there's something that you're focusing on that's not allowing you to see that. Again, choose your path wisely. Some of you might not feel like you're on the right path, and it's not that you're not on the right path. You're just you made the wrong choice. You're not moving, you're not growing, you're staying a bit stagnant. But that's okay, because you're moving towards these blessings. You're moving towards this goal of yours, this success, this victory. It's just not going to be as easy as the movies make it seem. It's not going to be as easy as the story is told. It's not going to be as easy as imagining it. You have to put in that physical work. That maturing of the soul has to be made by going through experiences and by feeling, by sensing what happens. This might be like, again, paying it, like someone needs to get ancestor message, divination and ancestors. This is your ancestral message. I haven't done one in forever, but they came through heavy today and told me I needed to do it. I've been focusing on other things, so I haven't been getting their messages or giving their messages or hearing their messages, but today they came in strong and it was like, look, we have a direct one for you. So some of you might need to get ancestral readings to figure out what's going on, ancestral spirit guide guidance. Some of you all need to, if you can yourself, do divination on it. Some of you all, this is just exactly what you need to hear coming straight from your ancestors, but you're being watched, you're being guided over. I need you to just look for the signs. It does not matter how small it seems. It is a sign, and you need to be aware of those things and nurture them by giving them the attention, because there's some signs that you haven't been paying attention to, which is why things keep mirroring back on you. Oh, don't do this. Well, I want to do this. Well, you can. You have the will to do it, but be careful of what you're doing. Right? This has a lot to do with coming back. This is your. I mean, here it is. Like you're literally about to break a cycle reverse in life. You're coming out of this stagnancy. Something starting up. Don't be afraid to start at ground zero. Some of y'all might have felt like you haven't left ground zero, but you have. And it's time to start anew. You've hit the max of the ladder for the lessons that you needed to learn. Maybe your lesson was simply just to speak your heart. And now all of a sudden, a bunch of crazy shit has happened around you to take you to the next level. Now you can speak your heart. Now let's start working on what you need to be doing on the physical. Now let's start working on your work, your business, your art, your career. Now let's start working on that. Now that you can be authentic. Now let's start doing that. And that's why it feels like it's at ground zero, because you tried doing everything at once and that didn't work. So then the divine said, let's take you through steps. And you said, sure. There's more steps than it seemed. There was more steps than you thought there were going to be. And that's okay. And the divine doesn't, want you to worry or stress. They just want you to know that you've made it past you made it past a past version of yourself. You're no longer feeling obligated to something. You now know what you need to do. You now know what needs to happen. Things don't change. Things don't affect you in the same way, which is why you might be in an anger or a stress or irritation or however right now, right? It's because the past doesn't affect you the same way anymore. It affects you differently, and this new energy is coming towards you, and you have to take time to decipher it, because it's going to feel like old energy, because you're still leaving that old version of yourself. You're in this new energy, so translate the energy differently. How do you truly want to translate it? How does it truly feel? And again, this is removing yourself from that emotional state that's keeping you from moving forward with spirit. It's blocking your fire. And this is why you're being grown again with fire. I picked up Leo, but I was thinking Aries. But I was about to say, and I did say Leo. But I was thinking, it's like this fire has grown. This fire started, the fire has started, especially with the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Wands, coming out. The fire's already started. The fire's already ready, right? You've already completed that one fire. You're good. Now a new one starting. What is this new fire going to lead you to? Oh my goodness. What is this new fire going to push you to? What is this new fire going to show you about who you are and your own power inside? Right? So let's get some of these animal cards out, and then that's the reading. And if my energy seems low, it's because I'm right there in this situation with you, and I'm also on a fast. So it's been like 2 days. Just not feeling it. But we're all in it together, and it's okay to speak your mind. Don't feel, and as well, here's the thing. if you are around someone that's speaking your mind, when you're around someone that's speaking their mind, excuse me, or you decide to speak your mind, do not allow a false or a fake opinion of someone else come towards you. You are allowed to express yourself, but you cannot gauge how someone's going to react. You need to control how you can react. We have Kangaroo, which is cycle that came out first. A 9-month cycle is at play. Your current project will take 9 months to mature and benefit you. Commit fully to it. You have all the strength and stamina you need as long as you move forward and not backwards. Some of you all are ending this 9-month cycle. That's so funny because I did get told 9 months, literally 20 minutes before I did this reading. No, not even that, like 5 minutes. I was talking with someone down at the recession office, and they're like, "You've been here for like 9 months, haven't you?" And I said, "No, only like 2 or 3." But it's a 9-month cycle that's ending. We have Dolphin, which is peace. The gentle nature of the dolphin reminds you to look for the good in everyone and strive to bring peace to your life and those around you. Trust your instincts and intuition rather than overthinking things. Rust, which is hedgehog. This is a reminder that even if you feel like others don't understand you or get what you are doing, it's no excuse to curl up and hide. Sure, you may need a little bit of space right now, but the world needs your gifts. You are more than worthy. Don't allow the way other people are talking to you or talking about what you do discourage you. Who cares if someone doesn't get it? Who cares if someone just doesn't, like, oh, you don't need to be breaking this down, you don't need to be studying that. That's what you were called to do, right? Who knows, that might be your destined path, to be the one person to really crank down and understand it better than anyone else on this planet. Do that thing. Who cares about the opinions of others? If you care about the opinion of another person, and whatever that other person does shapes your life differently, you're being controlled by an outside force, even from me. Don't even let me change your life. Allow me to guide you to a deeper version of yourself so that you can change it. Don't change it by my terms, but take what I say and transmute it if you wish, so that you can understand it better on your own terms and be who you're supposed to be and not be a clone of what you're supposed to be, if you get what I mean. We have horse, which is freedom. You must break out of any limitations that are holding you back, whether they are self-imposed or put on you by other people or society. Break free and run faster towards your dreams. Bat, which is transition. You must pay attention to the signs around you. The transition may seem threatening at first, but you must let go of old habits and patterns that no longer serve your higher calling. They would only hinder your growth. Armadillo, which is protection. You are entering a phase where, in order for you to be in alignment with your intentions and co-create your best life, you may also have to be discerning and say no to many things that are holding you back in the past. Last but not least, Jaguar, which is growth. Maturing is the maturing is the ability to embrace change, and change cannot happen without death. This death does not have to necessarily mean a physical death, but it could be the ending of a relationship, a situation, or simply a decision to not continue with the same old habits. I wish I could speak sometimes. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Just how it be. But allow yourself that grace, that humiliation. Don't be afraid to start over. When you start over, it might feel like you're at ground zero, but you start with new knowledge. You start with new wisdom. You start with a new understanding of things. You start with a fresh look, a better plan, a revitalized plan, a stronger being. I'm gonna shuffle this deck 5 more times. Anything else wants to come out, just knock it out of my hands. We'll take the bottom and the split as well. Is this all the elements again? This is all the elements, but there's a lot of fire. A lot of fire. There's not a lot of earth. A lot of fire. There's a lot of water. There's a lot of air, fire, and water. That's where you're working. You're not working with the earth. You're not really working fully in spirit. You're just trying to get to the next place. We have numero uno, which is earthworm. Shy, hesitant, reluctant to share inner vision. We all have felt the woes of the earthworm at some point along the way. The earthworm indicates a newbie or novice working to establish confidence in a new field. Others around you may seem wise and experienced, but it's important to remember that they once felt earthworm energy too. This card is a reminder to not be intimidated or lose hope. Mastery takes time and you're on the right track. Besides, rumor has it, a beginner's mind often offers the most valuable insight. When unbalanced, earnest, intelligent, and valuable. When out of balance, self conscious, and apprehensive, to bring into balance, speak up, and risk embarrassment. We have water. We have turtle. Ancient soul, grounded, trusting, at home in the self. It is a wonder to be in the presence of the turtle personality. Like the beaver, the turtle has a strong relationship with the earth and water elements simultaneously. This helps to ground and connect them to deeper truths of life, no matter where their travels lead them. Turtle energy is behind all great writers and storytellers as they collect life experiences under their shell for later use. The most potent turtle energy helps us close all other books and begin to tell our own true tale. When in balance, is this card okay? This I thought it was upside down. When in balance, peaceful, adventurous, and productive. When out of balance, slows down to a halt to bring into balance and adventure. Dolphin, innately intelligent, healer, light, and blessings. The gifts of a dolphin are beyond what our human minds can grasp. Dolphin personalities are often drawn to healing arts as they are sensitive to the subtle and enjoy working on the level of spirit. It's easy for dolphin types to underestimate the impact they make in the world. These creatures play such an important role in the wheel of karma that coming in contact with a dolphin type will change your entire course of your day and thus your life. This card can also indicate that a profound blessing is on the way. When in balance, active healer, strong spiritual practice. When out of balance, underestimates own power to bring into balance like minded spirits. Have fire. I don't know why it took me so long to say that. Scorpion. Passionate, competitive, tends towards isolation. The scorpion is a passionate and determined creature. Their career is very important to them, as are a few select friends. Sometimes the scorpion's heat festers and they focus on an unresolved event from the past, usually a situation where they left feeling burned. The scorpion card says it's time to come clean about your feelings so everyone can heal and you can get back to your usual fiery but fun self. When in balance, wild and free and fierce. When out of balance, jealous, resentful, and unresolved, to bring into balance honesty and forgiveness. We have Tiger, lunar forces, ease in the darkness and feminine energy. The tiger hunts at night, at one with the silence, fearing nothing. This card reminds us to take in the wild darkness to allow our lunar forces to soothe and heal our spirits. Sensuality, receptivity, and devotion are all heightened in the midnight hour, and the tiger takes advantage of these boons. Spend some time in silence this evening, drinking in the potent calm. There is nothing to fear in the stillness except for the awakening of your own power. When in balance, passionate, strong, and sensual. When out of balance, overstimulated, and to bring into balance, candle gazing. Here, Firefly, inspired and fantastic yet fleeting. The firefly complains the light of 1,000 stars. It's pure, radiant, and illuminating. This high frequency charge cannot be sustained for long, therefore, the firefly card indicates a moment of inspiration or awakening that quickly fades if we don't catch it. There is firefly energy behind every poem, song, and invention. Our job is to be ready to harness this creative spirit when it graces our path. What can you do to support this precious and elusive light? When imbalanced writes, creates, and brainstorms. When out of balance, burned out and feels dull. To bring into balance, write a poem and draw. Just be creative in general. Vulture, guardian, and purifier, essential for rebalance. The vulture is perhaps the most misunderstood creature of all. This intriguing bird balances our ecosystem and prevents the spread of disease. It does the dirty work that no one else wants to do and cleans up our messes. The vulture appears when there's a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance. Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. When unbalanced, clarifies, reveals wisdom. When out of balance, dramatic and aggressive. To bring into balance, clean your space or sage. Last but not least, we have the black egg, speaking from an authentic voice and the truth. The black egg contains one of life's essential treasures, the truth. Inside it resides no confusion, excuses, small talk, noise, or lies, not even white ones. This living and breathing vessel harbors only that which rings true. When this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. We are drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, or perhaps public speaking. Sound draws us in, books draw us in, and the concept of truth itself draws us in. We start asking questions like, what do I know to be true about myself, and what is true about the world? When the energy of the black egg is not yet accessed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things others want to hear and gossip and repeat stories just to justify our subpar behavior. We might even try to convince ourselves that we have no inner truth at all. The energy of the black egg hovers and waits for us to connect. It's available to us at every moment, at every situation. It is the epicenter of truth and the birthplace of our voice. The black egg in the fifth chakra. The subtle essence is the card of this card resides at the base of the throat, at the Vishuddha chakra. The ancient sages saw this center as the hub that governs our speech and expression. Vishuddha translates to especially pure. The balance of the center is important for us all, but is especially essential for writers, editors, musicians, and teachers. Without further ado, that is the messages that your ancestors, your guides wanted to get you to, give you. Oh my goodness, get you to, give you, same thing. Regardless, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to the ancestors that came through the spirit guides. Thank you to God, Mother, Father. Thank you to all the spirits and souls, past over loved ones, for being here. And thank you, Collective, for being here as well. If you're interested in any of my services, readings, books, one-on-one service tarot classes, however, you can email me or check the description for the link to the order form, and I'll get you set out that way, or you can just email me, doesn't matter. They're both in the description. If you're wanting to donate to any of the fundraiser, you can do so with the links in the description. We have those there. If you're looking to share those posts or the flyers, I made a recent post that had all the flyers put in the one post that you can share there. And I'll be like redoing that one anytime a new thing comes out, just to kind of keep them like together until they hit like 5, and then I'll take like I'll mash them. I'll figure it out as we go on, right? But regardless, thank you all so much for what you do already. All the likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, whether energetic or financial, are greatly appreciated tenfold and forever. I truly do love each and every one of you all, to the moon and back, tenfold and forever. We're just going through the final pushes. I mean, look, we're almost at spring. We got 2 more weeks of winter left until we hit spring. This is literally you being the flower blossoming out of the concrete. This is just balls to the walls and tins. It sucks. It hurts, but we will make it through this tenfold. And your ancestors want you to know that you will as well. But I love you all so much, to the moon and back, tenfold and forever. And I will see you all later.